July 30th until the 14th of August. The winner of each bracket will then move on to stage 3. In this stage, the 8 winners from East will compete against each other, and the 8 winners from West will do the same in a round-robin format of their own region. The top players from each region will then move on to stage 4, the playoffs and the grand finals, which will take place on the 23rd of August, where a new Clash Royale champion will be born.
Do you remember the 2017 CCGS?
I do.
The best in the world competed there.
But now, some of them are gone.
Dali.
CMC Hill.
Yao.
Electrify.
Even Music Master is gone.
We had such great times.
We hated to see you go.
We miss you.
But not too much.
Clash Royale has evolved since then.
We already know the best teams.
But now we want to know,
Who is the best player in the world?
do you have what it takes to be the best?
Europe,
Asia.
China.
Africa.
North America.
See you all in the arena.
The No-Tilt World Championship will have 4 stages. Everything starts with the 20-win challenge that will take place between July 23rd to July 26th. Only those who win the challenge will move on to the second stage. The second stage will separate players into 2 regions, East and West. Each region will have 8 brackets of 1,024 players. All brackets will be live streamed. Starting with the semifinals, this will happen from July 30th until the 14th of August. The winner of each bracket will then move on to stage 3. In this stage, the 8 winners from East will compete against each other, and the 8 winners from West will do the same in a round-robin format of their own region. The top players from each region will then move on to stage 4, the playoffs and the grand finals, which will take place on the 23rd of August, where a new Clash Royale champion.
The No-Tilt World Championship has 4 stages. Stage 1 was the No-Tilt 20-win challenge. The winners are now in Stage 2, the qualifier brackets, where we have 8 East brackets and 8 West brackets. Hello, everybody. If you're on the West Coast like me, good afternoon. If you're anywhere in the U.S., I guess at this point, good afternoon elsewhere. Good morning, good evening, good night. Whatever you're doing, I hope it's a good one. Hello, and welcome to the No-Tilt World Championship Western Stage 3, Day 5 of our round-robin portion. And here's the video guide to explain exactly what's going on. Stage 1 was the No-Tilt 20-win challenge. The winners are now in Stage 2, the qualifier brackets, where we have 8 East brackets and 8 West brackets of 1,024 players that will be streamed from semifinals to finals. The winners of Stage 2 will qualify to Stage 3, the group stage. We will have 1 East group of 8 players and 1 West group of 8 players that will battle in a single round-robin format.
The 4 top players of each group will qualify to Stage 4, Playoffs, and Grand Final, where these 16 players will battle in a single elimination bracket to become the new Clash Royale champion of the world.
Well, if you didn't know, now you know what we're doing. This is the No Tilt World Championship, and let's try this again. Hello, welcome. I'm Rich Slayton, caster for Clash Royale League, here to talk you through the action on Day 5 of the No Tilt World Championship Western Group Stage. We're down to the top 8 from the Western side of the world. Of course, as you heard before, 20-win challenge. Everyone could play. About 3,000 moved on, and there were a series of really difficult competitions on the western side of the world, and the top 8 from those competitions are now here vying for a spot in the top 4 on the west to move into our finals, which will be this Sunday. And we are now more than halfway through the group stage. We have a clear leader overall so far in the German Schwarzen, who's now 4-0. Going to be nearly impossible now. I believe he may have actually clinched a spot all the way through, but nearly impossible at this point for him to not make it through to the next stage. Have to lose everything and have a whole bunch of other crazy stuff happen. We also have 4 players out of our 8 who are in the bottom 4, all of them at 1-3 right now. A 4-loss start, or a 4-loss at this position, would put them very precariously balanced to get in or out of our next stage, and we're going to have one of those matches today, possibly a deciding match that we'll see who goes on or who stays alive and who goes home. Here's a look at our prize pool. $50,000 overall is the prize pool for this event, and there's definitely money every single stage, but as you'll see in just a moment, the big prize is hitting to first place overall, where not only do you get the $10,000 prize for first place, but the money you earn on the way. It means first place walks away with nearly $15,000 in winnings from Clash Royale this No Tilt World Championship season. So pretty huge, pretty massive to walk away with a nice chunk of change there if you are the overall winner of the No Tilt World Championship. And today we take one step closer, match day 5 of the group stage. Kind of a winner-go-home situation for a lot of these players now, as I said before, and we'll see the breakdown in just a few minutes. 4 players, StarWars, Wolfstochter, Boss, and Adrian Piedra, all currently at 1-3. All of them really needing a win today to stay relevant. Luckily for both of those, there is Miniminter at 2-2 right now, so within range to catch, and of course only one player currently still 4-0, the German Schwarzen, who's been playing phenomenally throughout 2020 and playing really well in this event as well. Hello, chat. I'll be checking in with you guys a little bit here and there, so I see both of you on the overall YouTube chat and on my Trovo chat as well. Thank you so much for coming and joining. I am co-streaming this along with the No Tilt YouTube channel on my personal Trovo channel as well, so shout out to the family over there. Here we are looking at the group stage, and as you can see, current standings, Schwarzen has just pulled way ahead of everybody and might have gotten his most important wins out of the way, although today does have the one that would really be the clincher. Schwarzen and Vitor, the 2 top players right now on the western side, will face off today in our second match. A win there would definitely clinch Schwarzen a spot onto the next round, and Vitor, of course, would love to unseat the currently undefeated German. Airsurfer and Miniminter rounding out the top 4. And again, as I said before, all those players down in the bottom 4 at 1-3 really need wins today to stay alive. Boss got his win early on, and so far it's been difficult for him. Adrian Piedra and StarWars both finally got on the board yesterday, so that's going to be a huge one as well. If you're asking about Vitor's loss, that was to airsurfer yesterday, which put airsurfer up at that 3-1 now, within shooting distance of those top spots. And here we go. These are the matchups for today. So we start off with Wolfstochter versus Adrian Piedra. Both of those guys at 1-3. This might be a loser goes home situation. Winner will be staying more alive. Of course, the top 2 players, Schwarzen and Vitor, will be facing off in our second match. An American versus a Peruvian who lives in America, between Miniminter and Boss. And again, Boss could take a big spot from Miniminter with a win here, stay alive, and move Miniminter down into the 2-3 range, which would be huge for everybody at the bottom. So I bet all those 1 and 3 players rooting for Boss at the moment, and then finally StarWars and airsurfer, an American battle, and we'll see if StarWars can stay alive today. But first up, one of our 2 Germans in this Western group stage, Wolfstochter, starting things off against the Adrian Piedra, the Aztec Eagle. Pelon Army in the chat. Longtime professional Clash Royale player out of Mexico. People are excited to see him back at this stage, but so far 1 and 3, not a hot start. As I said before, winner here will move to 2 and 3 and be looking very carefully at that later matchup of Boss and Miniminter, whereas the loser will fall to 1 and 4 and will most likely be unable to crack that top 4 spot. It'll be very, very difficult, require some funky math. Of course, everyone might just be rooting right now for our current leader Schwarzen to run the table and go nearly 7-0, or like maybe they want a 6-1 where they're the only ones to beat him. If everyone else loses to Schwarzen, that could be huge for one of those players near the bottom. We'll see if they can turn things around. This will be very, very interesting today, folks. Match day 5 of 7. Top 4 move on to the next stage to face off against their Eastern counterparts, who, of course, right now, much tighter race over on that side, especially for the top. If you didn't wake up early and watch the East this morning, for those of you in the U.S., AUK, Line, and Benzer all tied atop of the East at 3 and 1. Here we go. Game number 1 of our opening match. Adrian Piedra against Wolfstochter. So similar looks from both sides to open up. Probably a double bait matchup. People asking about my NFL preference. The Raiders are sort of my team, but I care more about college football. Hook 'em horns. Rascals going to the right-hand side. And H not trying to spoil anything. Just keeping up to date with the news. Sorry if you didn't know what these results were. They did already happen. Oh, you know what? Today is day 5. That's interesting. So actually, H, I didn't spoil anything for you, actually. Mohammed, I didn't spoil anything for you because those numbers I have are inherently out of date. 3 and 1, 3 and 1, 3 and 1. So I actually, because those numbers, those standings are out of date, thank you for pointing it out, Stephen Stone. I spoiled nothing, and I will spoil nothing. So Rascals bait on both sides, but different looks. Rascals double bait for Adrian Piedra, Rascals bait for Wolfstochter. Interesting to see Rascals in the mix so much right now. Very, very curious about that choice. If anyone in the chat has any thoughts on why Rascals are appearing so much. How about baseball? I'm an A's fan in baseball. Let's go Oakland. Although in the National League, I do go see the Padres play at least once, twice a year down in San Diego. Adrian Piedra way ahead so far with 30 seconds remaining in regulation play. What an interesting variation of double bait here. You don't see a whole lot of delivery right now after the nerf. One thing you have to think about delivery, though, is you still get the value of the extra unit, not to mention the wide drop when it first comes in. Adrian seems like he has this one pretty locked down, but keep in mind, folks, that if Wolfstochter can hold on defensively, Adrian does not have a great way to create direct tower damage. The problem here is that it seems like Wolfstochter does not really have a great ability to keep the skeleton barrel specifically from doing damage. And just like that, cycle not working out for the German. P's in the Trovo chat saying, I love the way RF says North America. Actually, my favorite thing from that intro video, guys, if you watched it, is when RF says, and now some of them are gone. I laugh every single time I see him do it. Heriberto Rodriguez calling dubs. He's predicting Adrian, Vitor, Mini, and airsurfer today. We'll see. We will see. Goblin Barrel in low. And one thing about Adrian when he does play bait, he does this very, very well. And you see some players do it more, some do it less, but Adrian does it very well. As he varies up his bait placement the same way a top-level miner player varies up his goblin, their miner placement, right? It's not just surround and then go 3 to the inside, 3 to the outside. Like, you see the bottom corner placement, the outside top corner placements. Adrian is much more varied in his placement than most bait players, than many bait players at least. Final 40 seconds right now. Adrian does have the lead. Ban is 6-man, aka Royal Recruits and Skeleton Dragons, if you weren't seeing that on the screen yet or didn't catch up on it. And there you go. Adrian Piedra does get game number 1. AC, Jack hasn't played yet. This is game number 1, or match number 1. Match 1, game 1. He will play in the last match today against StarWars. Guys, I believe we have a certified CRL Pro in the chat there. If you guys want to ask him for your friend link, go ahead and spam that right now. Get your friend link. AC, can I have your friend link, man? You had to peek your head out there, buddy. Here we go. Game number 1, Adrian Piedra. Had it locked down pretty nicely. And a big part of that was just better responses when it came to the bait, and Wolfstochter not having as many responses for that double bait. AC is in the YouTube chat for those guys asking the Trovo. And no, he will not be giving his friend link out. Yeah, I think he only gives friend link to subs or celebrities. And I don't rate either one of them. How's everybody doing? Clash Royale Esports dropping in. Guys, give a big shout out and thanks to the Clash Royale Esports team for helping make events like this possible. 2020 really, even with all that's going on, has been an amazing year for Clash Royale Esports between No Tilt, CRL, AMG, all the fun stuff. Easy King Tower activation here. Adrian Piedra nearly put DPS on that Hog before it could hit, though. So it's Hog triple spell for Wolfstochter against RG Fishboy for Adrian Piedra. So a big part of this for Wolfstochter, and a big part of any sort of matchup for Hog Cycle is, of course, protecting that Musketeer, but against the Fishboy in particular. The Fisherman going to be very, very important. Let's see how the Knight and Skeletons work to keep the Musketeer on the board and out of the hands of that Fish Slapper. Not going to go ahead and worry about a 1 HP Musketeer is Wolfstochter. First minute and a half away, and right now the German in the lead, 21.98 to 23.62. This Royal Giant deck, or a variation of it, because also the Skeleton Dragons variation is very popular. But this overall Royal Giant construction, RG Fisherman Hunter Fireball with the Heal Spirit, is so popular right now. If you guys take a look at the top ladder over the last few days, dominated by this general archetype. Absolutely dominated. It's going to be interesting to see if Wolfstochter can keep damage on the Royal Giant when it gets across, especially as we get deeper into double and triple elixir. EQ in on the right-hand lane. Nice log to get the Heal Spirit off. And you see that, Muskie staying on board a little bit longer, but now 2 Royal Giants down. Snowball to create some separation. Knight high for protection. Oh, and a missed fireball from Adrian. That could be absolutely huge. Healthy Musketeer stays on the board. Adrian missing that fireball. Going to cost him a little bit here, and you see a big chunk of damage on the left-hand side. 782 to 1377. Final minute 40 remaining. Olinga asking who even plays EQ anymore. Well, since all the spells Crown Tower damage was nerfed except for EQ and Tornado, now 2 Earthquakes do more damage to a Crown Tower than a Rocket for the exact same price. So this Hog triple spell deck has been very, very popular in the meta. You've seen it in competitive a whole bunch, and right now you're going to see a lot of damage getting in. 518 on that left-hand side. We should see Wolfstochter log here again in just one moment. There you go. Heal Spirit played way in the back of Adrian Piedra. Totally lined up that Heal Spirit for an easy log. Final minute on its way, and the German currently in control. Of course, the big question is, can he keep that next RG off the tower? And that's going to be a tough one. This is going to be a couple hits of RG damage nearly every single time coming in. Knight high, Hog Rider to distract against the Baby Dragon, and there you go. And let's see, I think the Hog Rider does not get away here. Oh my word, EQ in, and here comes the spell cycle. GG, well played. Wolfstochter going to go back and get to one more EQ and win game number 2 to even things up. GG, well played. Skull asking in the Trovo chat, how do I feel about this RG deck and the best way to make it a little bit less popular, toxic? I think the big thing is that the Heal Spirit probably needs a little bit of a nerf put on it. A lot of the pros are talking about the Heal Spirit maybe needing to come down a little bit, whether it be lower the healing or lower the range of the healing. But you see a lot of the decks that are really, really popular and dominant right now, the Heal Spirit's a major part of it. And even the decks that are a lot of the decks that you might dislike, the Heal Spirit's a big part of what makes them maybe even more annoying when they are there. I like the Heal Spirit as a concept. I think it's the best way to put healing in the game. If you're going to have that mechanic in there some way, I think the Heal Spirit's the smartest way to do it. But it definitely is maybe a little bit strong right now. And that's why you're seeing a big reason why you're seeing this RG deck so popular. Of course, Fisherman being strong right now also is a big part of that, but Fisherman's an interesting card and compelling card when he's viable. And he also makes the 6-man, aka Royal Recruits, powerful as well. This is why you're seeing that as a ban out of Wolfstochter today. And so now maybe you're seeing Wolfstochter go with a similar look here. Heal Spirit, Baby Dragon to open up. Wolfstochter competitively, as you can see on his jersey, primarily with S2V Esports. Just participated in the No Tilt League, the semi-pro league that runs concurrently with CRL as a part of S2V. Also in the Orange Crown League with S2V Esports. Been very active starting in 2019 through the 2020 season as a competitive player. Of course, talk about active as a competitive player, Adrian Piedra goes way back, way back. Made his competitive debuts back in 2017. And of course, the big one was coming second place at CCGS Latin America twice in a row in both the fall and spring season, and making the top 8 at CCGS World Finals back in 2017. And since then has been a staple of the competitive scene. Spent 3 seasons with Complexity Esports and CRL, and now the 4th season with Chivas. And real slow start here. And looks like Wolfstochter might be getting a little bit toxic here. We'll see. Could be going with the full stinky cheese. E-Golem Battle Healer certainly looks like it. We'll see what Adrian does about the Battle Healer. The Battle Healer E-Drag combination is actually one of the more complicated combinations to deal with in this Eagle and Battle Healer deck, because a great way to deal with the Battle Healer, of course, is to put a little bit of aerial damage on it, whether in the form of a Mega Minion, Minions, Spats, whatever it might be. Of course, none of those things in Adrian's deck here with the MK Royal Hogs. Mega Knight trying to do enough to get that E-Golem down. Healing coming in, 2 Battle Healers. That's where it gets annoying. And then the Heal Spirit on top of it. So much healing on the right-hand side. I don't know if there's any way here for Adrian Piedra to deal with that. NATO brings all of that stuff in. Wolfstochter going with the high stinky cheese. And oh boy, that tower just has a party on it. GG, well played. Thanos asking Rich Slayton, have you ever tried Indian food in the Trovo chat? Not only, Thanos, have I tried Indian food, I make very good Indian food. I have a korma recipe. Of course, it can be lamb, can be chicken, can be vegetable, whatever. I have a korma recipe that would shock you with how good it is. Developed it myself. Because I like Indian food so much, I didn't want to go out and have to pay for it every time I wanted to eat it. So, learned to make it myself. Wolfstochter pulls out the deck that everyone plays, but no one wants to see. E-Golem Battle Healer. And Adrian just didn't have a good way to deal with all those different pieces. E-Drag was super duper annoying. No really high DPS to get the E-Drag off the board. Cooking stream, maybe. Might have to do one. Next matchup today is going to be Schwarzen versus Vitor. Of course, we still have maybe 3 more games to go in this one, all tied up between Wolfstochter and Adrian Piedra through 2 games. You guys, by the way, Moni Vargas in the chat giving you a great idea. Like and subscribe to the No Tilt YouTube page. We still have more of this group stage tomorrow, the day after. And then on Sunday, ooh boy, on Sunday we bring the finals. My personal best on ladder is 6.3K. Not my best finish because I tilted from there, but my highest push is a 6.3. I am a okay player. That's about it. Being a CRL player means you're as good as Jupiter King or better. I think that's a real big stretch there, Jupiter's Light in the YouTube chat. I would say that most CRL players are better than everybody, but also most CRL players are not as good as Jupiter King. There might be, there are like 10 players overall who are at that top level, and Jupiter's one of them. So Pro Bro joining the Trovo chat. Have a great video on my YouTube channel of So Pro Bro doing the 20-win challenge to qualify for this event with 2.6. And so, of course, as you're subscribing here to the No Tilt YouTube page, subscribe to my YouTube page as well for a lot of great Clash Royale competitive content. What's my favorite Mexican food? Al Pastor. Put it anywhere. Put it in Al Pastor tacos, Al Pastor burritos. But that's what I'm all about. Two-1 advantage right now for the German Wolfstochter. It looks like it might be a graveyard battle here. What are my top 3 favorite emotes? What do you think are the 3 most BM emotes? If you guys know me from streams, I actually, emotes tilt me, but my favorite ones that I personally use, if you look at my emote deck, my 3 favorite ones. Number one is probably the CRL, not the CRL number 1 emote, but the one with the caster with the headset cheering and his headset pops off. That one makes me very happy. I feel like that was made just for myself and Andrew and Koji and Mono, Bruno, Deco, all the caster team. I like the dancing mini P.E.K.K.A. and the wizard who blows out the flame. Those are my favorites. Easy King Tower activation here for Wolfstochter. That's going to make things really difficult for Adrian Piedra. He's going to have to hope to go for something similar here. But not taking the risk. That feels like that one King Tower activation could be a big swing and completely change things. Can I make Indian curries? I haven't tried. I primarily make korma. It's Mrs. Slayton's favorite recipe, or one of her favorite recipes in life. King Tower activation going to make things nearly impossible for Adrian. The only thing he can really hope to do here is get a similar activation and then play a chip battle. If he doesn't get it, though, he is going to slowly fall behind in this one. Kiss in the Trovo chat asking, who is the best 2.6 hog to watch and learn from? I don't know if I can say who the best is. Obviously, there are some great players. Oyasu might be the #1 guy with 2.6 right now. Jack even says himself that his 2.6 isn't great, but like I said before, and even so Pro Bro, who is in my Trovo chat, who put out that great video on my YouTube of him doing the 20-win challenge at 2.6, says Oyasu. So yeah, I guess Oyasu is the #1 2.6 guy to watch and has a ton of videos up. 1482 to 2054, final 90 seconds here. And again, as I said, that King Tower activation changes everything. Wolfstochter very smart to go for it. Adrian now kind of is stuck in a bad situation. It's going to be really hard for him to get a lone brawler to come across and activate King Tower with it. Final minute, triple elixir coming in. And no tanks coming across, courtesy of that tornado. It would be amazing if Adrian wins this, and he could take the lead here. He is playing, despite the King Tower activation situation, he is playing this phase of the game maybe a little bit better than his opponent, although the Graveyard Poison in on the left-hand side going to take that way down low, and I don't know if there's any way for the comeback to happen here. Adrian Piedra facing the possibility of falling down to 1 and 4, loading up at the bridge. Can he fight any way through? Cage high, final 15 seconds, spamming graveyard cycles right now. Might want to NATO everything in here in a second. Does have the Baby Dragon down. NATO for the opponent. Wolfstochter looking like he's going to get that second win here and give himself a real fighting chance at moving into the top 4. Germany with their second player to knock on the door of stage 4. Man, almost had that one perfect. Stage 5. And there you go. GG, well played. Little Neon Boy asking what's my favorite game mode in Clash Royale? Clash Royale. Just the main game as it is. It's beautiful. It's a beautiful game. That was game number 4, but Wolfstochter now with 3 wins. Takes the victory. Who surprised me the most this CRL season? Who surprised me the most this CRL season? That's an interesting question. Let me think about that for a second. I was impressed with Diego E. Very impressed with Diego E. He's done a great job of getting back to a high level. Who else was impressed with this season? I was happy to see Samuel Basoto kind of get it together and finally perform in competitive the way he performs on ladder. Why isn't Golem ever used in CRL or no tilt? Thanos, that's a good question. Golem isn't phenomenal competitively right now. It isn't great competitively. It might be really strong in mid-ladder, but it's a lot of the faster cycle decks are more popular for the ability to outplay even a negative matchup. Is Rich my real name? Yeah. It's short for Richard. So here we go, Wolfstochter picking up his second victory of the tournament. Keeping himself alive. We'll, of course, see the standings here in just a moment. Those will fly on in. Hi, everybody. Hope you're doing well. I know I am. I'm pumped for today. Really, really great matches. And, of course, coming up next, ooh, boy, the fire. Schwarzen versus Vitor. Number 1 versus number 2. The undefeated German against the 3-1 Portuguese player. Two very, very good players who both, I suspect, will be getting looks in the West after this tournament. We'll see. But this is a big one. Schwarzen would definitely lock in a spot moving on to the finals with a win here over Vitor. He might have already locked one in mathematically, but I haven't gone and done all the who can beat whom and could it possibly knock him out of the top 4. With those 4 wins, he's probably secure. This 5th win would be a complete secure, though. For Vitor, he's in an interesting spot right now. 3-1. He does need to get one more win to really secure that spot in the top 4. So not a situation that Vitor will take lightly in this one. AC asking, shouldn't Jack be number 2, though? You know, I'm not entirely sure how they're doing the tiebreaker stuff. But airsurfer did beat Vitor. But I'm wondering if they're doing that in particular, if it's just based off of... I don't know what the rule... You know, let me check on the rule about that. Whether the first tiebreaker is head-to-head or game differential. I'm going to go ahead and ask that right now, actually. That's a rule that I would think it would be head-to-head. I'm asking League Ops that right now. Because I agree with that win over Vitor. That should put airsurfer above him from my perspective. But enough about that. Right now, let's move on to match number 2. Schwarzen has been so good. And remember, keep in mind that to take his last steps into Stage 3, had to beat both Lopakati and the God RF back-to-back in BO5s. So his road here harder than most. On the other side of that, Vitor, the Portuguese player, as you can see, some experience in OCL and in the Red Bull MEO, but really got a lot more attention overall during No Tilt Worlds, and Portugal put on a pretty good run. We'll go ahead and see if what the bans are here in just a moment. StarWars beat them, not Schwarzen. Oh, is it StarWars who beat Vitor, not Schwarzen? Wait, StarWars beat who? StarWars beat Wolfstochter. Oh, that was StarWars. You're right. You're right. It was StarWars, not Schwarzen. You guys are absolutely right. I've been casting too much Clash Royale lately, but you are absolutely right. It was StarWars who beat those two. I'm trying to remember who Schwarzen beat in the semis. All right, reading this. In the event of a group stage, in the event of a tie at the end of the group stage, tiebreaker starts with this. It's game differential across all games first that determines position, not head-to-head. Then towers, then head-to-head. Interesting. So those rankings are right. Overall game differential is the first tiebreaker after overall match won and lost. Ultra Gaming, it was Wolfstochter who won against Adrian Piedra. Vitor running a very popular overall construction. This is the graveyard version of this mortar cannon cart deck. This same 6 support cards is also sometimes played with miner and I believe archers. If you want to play the miner chip variation, of course not what's being played here. Vitor going with the graveyard version. And with miner recently nerfed, not really much in the way of miner chip out there these days. So the overall, again, an update on how the rankings worked. The first bit of ranking would be your match 1 loss victory. Second would be your game differential across all games. Third is towers destroyed. Fourth is head-to-head. And if they're still tied after all that, then it's a BO1 to see who goes on or determine positions. So far, it is Schwarzen with the lead against his Portuguese opponent. Graveyard in for the German on the right-hand lane with a full poison push on top of it. That delivery in to stop the end, but that delivery might have been a bit of an overspend there. And a good bar barrel from Schwarzen to stick the cannon cart high. Although with that Graveyard, Vitor will take the lead, and a big one. 6-1-6 on the right-hand lane to 13-48. Alex, how do you tie in head-to-head if it's a three-way tie? If player A beats player B beats player C, who beats player A? That's how you tie in the head-to-head, is the triangle. GYN on the right-hand side. Being tanked for by the Baby Dragon, but defense gets in quick enough. Poison down on the Musketeer. Here we go. Final 80 seconds. Schwarzen trying to set the line high here and just not let anything get across. Cannon cart opportunistic look here from Vitor. And this is on the right-hand side. Looks like the poison should be enough to do it. Can Vitor steal it? And he does! Vitor steals it. 40 HP left on the top right-hand side. Oh my word, came down to mere moments. Skeletons looking left, looking right. Put your knife on the tower there, you tiny pile of bones. Vitor skates on through by 40 HP. GG, well played. GG, well played indeed. Graveyard is, well, she's a cold mistress. Let's put it that way. Lali, I don't actually know how a three-way tie BO1s will break it, but that's why I would have put head-to-head as the top tiebreaker. Maybe it's a series of BO1s. Do I watch anime? I've watched a few here and there. Death Note being one of my favorites. Here we go, game number 2. Vitor up 1 after that close one. Bands here, by the way, are Balloon and Skeleton Dragons. Schwarzen did play a pretty great game there, but Vitor able to hold on. And Vitor going right back to it with a hyper-aggressive Graveyard to open. Hyper-aggressive Graveyard. And he's going to end up a little bit behind on Elixir here. Piggy's high. So first minute away, and the lead does go to Schwarzen right now. Reaper Remix saying someone at your door. Oh, do you guys have the Ring doorbell too? So Barb Hut Pigs for Schwarzen, and right back to GY Mortar for Vitor. Schwarzen's personal best on ladder, 8.2K, 82.27. Right now, currently 26th in the world on ladder. Best finish overall, 24th. You have to imagine that as soon as this tournament is over, he'll be putting all his focus into trying to go for a top ladder finish and put the icing on the cake to try to convince these teams to get a better look at him for CRL West. Pigs just run right back by those bats, and that's going to be a ton of damage. Vitor caught completely flat-footed. Delivery not in cycle. GG, well played, it looks like. Of course, I've given La Mufa before. But right now, Schwarzen firmly in control in spell cycle range. Cannon Cart gonna get stopped high again one more time, and that's been the key to winning this battle so far for the German. And Vitor cycling the Muskie behind that weak side Princess Tower might not have been the best call unless he's trying to bait out a fireball. And that might have been the call there, was trying to bait out the fireball to pull some defense away from the left-hand lane. Cannon Cart sticks just a little bit far out. Schwarzen forced to spend the delivery to keep that Graveyard from running roughshod over the left-hand tower at 184 on the right-hand side. Keep in mind, new spell values means that is not within fireball range right now. Going to take 2 to finish off that right-hand side. So decides to go pigs instead. 5 elixir, a better spend than 8, and that's to be a GG well played. Schwarzen ties things up here in game 2. Schwarzen playing very, very well. Played well in the first game, just had some rough situations. And let's see, there's people asking if there's been a replacement for Razor on Misfits yet after that big signing by Team Liquid. Someone saying yes. I'm gonna have to do some sleuthing myself. Stats provided by Stats Royale, and you can see that Schwarzen didn't need to put as much offense out as his opponent. Vitor's Graveyard just not quite able to get the chip all the way down and get that big, big swing. There was one big moment, but Schwarzen able to stop that with a solid delivery. In the Trovo chat, someone asked me if I... who asked? Someone asked if I go to... Oh, Thanos asking if I go to Universal Studios in my spare time. I've been to Universal Studios, but don't actually go very often. Haven't been in years. Steven Stone, didn't someone say that Diego B is going to Chivas? I'm not sure. I've not seen any official announcements yet. So Schwarzen going with RG Fisherman Hunter. Prajwal, can you tell us some of your childhood memories after the matchup? Prajwal, are you trying to ask me like for my mother's maiden name and the name of my first pet and the street I grew up on and my first grade teacher? Because it sounds like you're trying to get my credit card information. It's like one of those memes that you fill out, like tell us the name of all these different things, and it's really just one of those memes that's used to fish for old people on Facebook to give you all their security question answers. Schwarzen locking things down early. Nice E-Wiz play. And that Fisherman could end up being a problem for Schwarzen, though. Going to pull the Mega Knight right in. Smart Mega Knight from Vitor. Sees the opportunity. And that folks, is why you almost never cycle Fisherman behind King Tower. That's why you don't do it. This RG, though, is going to do a lot of damage for Schwarzen on the right-hand side. Opportunistic play out of Vitor. Does have the lead, 14-24 to 15-18. Vitor's personal best on ladder, 7.8K, 78-33 for the Portuguese player. Currently sitting at 138th, ranking overall in the world. Best finish for Vitor, 126th. Well, thank you, Silk, for liking the commentary. My name isn't No Tilt. My name is Rich Slayton, caster for No Tilt and for a thing called Clash Royale League, if you heard of it. My friend Andrew Guy. And now you see the Fish Boy nowhere near that Princess Tower.
Graveyard in, being tanked for by the Mega Knight, and the DPS just not there. The separation between the Hunter and the Fisherman not doing enough, but we'll see. Is there any way? No, late with the Fisherman. Oh, never mind, the Barb Barrel picks up the Fisherman aggro on the right-hand side, and that's going to be it. Schwarzen going to take game number 3 and the overall lead in the match. Great play to avoid the Fisherman pull. Schwarzen is a killer, an absolute killer. GG, well played. Great Barb Barrel to pick that up. Yeah, Schwarzen has a good chance of going 7-0 here, guys. He really does. Great, great game by the German player. And now with match point. Morgan asking, who did Team Liquid sign as a new player for the fall season? Razor. One of the top players, in my opinion, and I've said before, one of the most underrated players, maybe the most underrated player in the West. And I think Liquid saw the same thing I saw. And knowing they've had some trouble in 2v2, picking up Razor, which adds to Team Liquid not only a great 2v2 player, one of the all-time best, but also a guy you can throw into King of the Hill and he'll go out and get wins, get a sweep for you. Huge addition to Team Liquid. Does Schwarzen speak English? I think so. Way good. We'll see. I've never had a conversation with him, but most Germans seem to have pretty good English. Here we go. Game number 4. Schwarzen with match point. Light Sama. Wasn't Kanari and Surgical Alban a good duo? Yeah, they weren't as sharp in the spring season as they've been in the past. I think they just really want to nail that down all the way, so why not pick up one of the top 2v2 players in the game? And guys, by the way, so you don't miss a single moment of action, make sure you like and subscribe to the No Tilt YouTube page. A lot more content in Clash Royale coming your way, even after No Tilt World Championship, which ends with its finals this Sunday. The No Tilt League will be returning soon as well. And as long as you're subscribing to things, subscribe to my YouTube channel for a bunch of great Clash Royale content. So Vitor looking like Barb Hut GY here. Up against Schwarzen with the same RG deck again. Well-timed Barb Barrel there for the Heal Spirit. Vitor with potentially a bit of a matchup advantage here. We'll see if Schwarzen's able to battle against it. Hard part for Schwarzen here is having no really great direct counter to the graveyard. And that's going to be a huge push left-hand side. Barb Barrel in, but that ain't going to be much. That's going to be a huge, huge chunk. Forced to overspend like crazy on defense. This counter push is not going to turn into a whole lot on the left-hand side. And there you see the problem. And you can see in that last push why this is a hard matchup on Schwarzen's side. And Vitor with a good call here. You know, a lot of people running back the same deck after they get one win with it. Obviously, GY Barb Hut's a good, powerful deck overall in the meta, and then you add in the possibility that you're running back this matchup. Although right now, Schwarzen steals it. Just as I'm talking about the great deck selection from Vitor, Schwarzen says, nope, I don't care what you do. I'm staying undefeated, son. Let's go. My word. My word.
Schwarzen just put it on. Realized he had a moment where he could break through. And just said, this is happening. This is happening right now. I want to go watch the replay of those final moments here in a second. Heriberto saying Schwarzen spam because Vitor overcommitted with poison. Yeah. One overcommit at the end, and that's the difference. That's the big difference. One small slip, whether it's an overcommittal, the defense wasn't quite there, and we'll see some of the replays from this one, but I want to go ahead and see that one, that last moment one more time. Just the whole, I would rather just watch the final 30 seconds of that game just to break down how that one went down. This was the crazy game here. The 40 HP, it looked like this was it. It looked like it was going to be Schwarzen winning that one, but you saw Vitor just snatch it back. Solid defense in this one from the German. Made a good call here, didn't go for spell cycle. A lesser player might have started trying to spell cycle here, but as I said during that game, 5 HP, a better choice than trying to get 8. And this was maybe twice here where we saw a minor overcommittal from Vitor turn the opposite direction. And everything about the way that Schwarzen built that push just completely wrecked his opponent. So here we go. Here's the end. You can see plenty of elixir, but he'd already spent the poison. Barb Hut comes down. Barb Barrel early, and the Heal Spirit comes in behind the Barb Barrel. And at this point, there was already nothing he could do. Already nothing he could do. Schwarzen just sits there. Hello. Here's all the cards. GG, well played. And now he's 5-0. A nasty 5-0. What a day it's been so far, folks. If Schwarzen was able to heal the 100 to get back on the poison. Who do I think is the best logbait player in the world right now? I don't know. But I'll tell you this. That's a very good point. When you're playing against poison with Heal Spirit, the ability to time that Heal Spirit, if there's a defensive or an offensive troop in there, and kind of mitigate the poison is huge. And that's one thing, if you're talking about ways to use Heal Spirit, let's go take a look at the standings here for 1 second. Talking about ways to use Heal Spirit, so many people use Heal Spirit purely for bridge battles on the offensive side. But when you get proper Heal Spirit usage on the defensive side of the board, especially to completely erase the value of a spell, that's huge. That's absolutely huge. Here we go. Schwarzen now moves to 5-0. That's a clincher. He's moving on. Completely in control of the group. Could go a clean 7-0. And Vitor opens the door for some people. There's going to be a logjam here in the middle. Vitor's not safe at 3-2. Not safe by any means. You lose 2, fall to 3-4, everything could change. So I'm telling you right now, everybody who was looking at that down at the bottom, those guys trying to break in from the bottom 4, all of them pumped about what they've seen today from Schwarzen versus Vitor. They just want to be the one person to beat him. Good luck. Good luck. I wish you well, but going to be very, very hard for anyone to do that. Remaining matches for Schwarzen are airsurfer and StarWars. So 2 guys who are both kind of in the middle in the mix right now. airsurfer and StarWars. You can imagine everyone else wants Schwarzen to keep on winning. Here we go into our third match of the day. I know a lot of you guys are here to see this one specifically. A lot of big fans for Boss in the chat. Miniminter and Boss fighting for a spot here. Boss yesterday lost 3-1 to Schwarzen. And Miniminter took a tough 3-2, 5-game loss to Adrian Piedra. Right now, Mini at 2-2, Boss at 1-3. A win for Boss would tie them in records and create a super, super big logjam in the middle of the standings. A lot of people saying, guys, 6K is not Miniminter's personal best. He has many accounts, guys. 6K is not Miniminter's. I think it's like 7.8 or something like that for Miniminter's actual personal best. Yeah, he finished 24th last season on his mini. Oh, this is his mini account, yeah. So he might be, maybe he's an 8K player. Sparky the ban for Miniminter against Boss, and Boss banning GY. And looks like we're going to see RG both directions, although different variations. I believe Mini's been running this variation. This sort of more old school RG Ice Whiz. Whereas Boss going with the most popular deck. I think this is the most popular version of the RG Hunter Fisherman build. Cheesecake saying Mini's best finish is 6th. Is that right? And Yuso, yeah, I am reading the Trovo chat best I can, but this is the no-tilt stuff, so I have to be, I'm doing a little bit more of the job and a little bit less of the hanging with chat today, guys, but doing my best to read chat on both the YouTube and Trovo sides today. And thanks for the hype there, Yuso. Boss's best finish is 6. Is that correct? Did Boss get 6th place on ladder? 5th is his best rank, is his best finish. Tower down for Mini on the left-hand side. We'll see if he can fire back on the right-hand side. 1 minute left, 5:02 in the right-hand lane. And Pocket RG, this should be pretty close to it. And Mini just didn't have a really good way to control the RG or DPS it down. And it's a nice Ice Whiz from Miniminter to get on that Fisherman, who now might actually do Mini a favor here and give shots in the pocket. Yes, he does. Cage to pick up the RG in the pocket from Boss. A lot of support behind, good fireball value. What looked like it was a game for Boss might be switching towards Miniminter now, the Peruvian, with the RG in the pocket, and Fisherman completely blocked over there by the Dark Prince. Royal Giant gonna get 2 shots. The Hunter, though, does provide good tank killing ability for the American. Ice Whiz set up in the pocket, maybe trying to get in front of the potential Royal Giant, and that ends up just being fireball fodder. Minute 45 remaining. Cage may be a bit early here from Miniminter. We'll see how that one works out for him. And RG to the opposite side here. Ice Whiz again going to block the Fisherman. Royal Giant going to get just 1 shot here, not 2. And the absolute stunner here from the Fisherman and Hunter combination. Heal Spirit keeps the Fisherman alive, and that might be, no, it's not it. NATO finally played here by Mini. 6:23 on the right-hand side to 8:52. That 4:13 is nasty. Fireball in. Boss here, close to finishing this one off. Goes RG at the bridge. Should get NATO'd back here after the cage gets played. We'll see if that's the game plan. RG in the pocket. Got to NATO this one back. Miniminter does. Not going to happen. Boss takes game number 1. I don't always curse Boss. I cursed Boss once, and he still won that one. I gave Boss Lamufa 1 time, and he came back and did a reverse sweep. Hey, Clash Royale in the chat. Clash Royale official with the GG here. Boss and Mini bringing out all the superstars. Mini played that well at the end. It was a tough situation for him overall. Wait, is KFC Clash in here as well? Hey, KFC's here! It's a star-studded stream today, folks. Remember, the bands are Graveyard and Sparky. And the not much seen Ice Golem. My favorite card in the game. Oh, 3M for Boss. Looks like it's going to be 3M Pigs. Yeah, on the Trovo chat and YouTube chat, both commenting on the Ice Wiz play from Mini. Did some great Ice Wizards, but still not quite able to control. And you saw, didn't get the NATO around in time to pull the RG back and keep the damage off tower. So maybe Pigs here from Mini against 3M Piggies from Boss. Decent fireball value here at the bridge. Dark Prince not going to go to tower, though. And here come the Pigs from Miniminter. And Boss is way low on elixir right now. Absolutely thirsted. The wells run dry, and that tower is going to be in a world of hurt, falling down to 11-18. So things slowing down here. Miniminter got a huge advantage during single elixir. And that's one thing that's going to be important for him in the long run. That advantage is critical against 3M the longer this game goes. Of course, the better it is for Three Musketeers players. Here we go, double elixir time. You can see as soon as we hit double, almost immediately, the 3M starts coming out with a little bit more frequency. Fireball misses one Musketeer and the other connects, forcing out the Bar Barrel on that left-hand side. And now that Barbarian Hut is low, you see Piggies coming down, and Pigs coming out defensively from Miniminter as well. Very, very interesting choice here from the Peruvian. And now Mini deciding does not care about a King Tower activation with the lead he has. I'd rather just get those Three Musketeers all hit at once. And that Dark Prince going to connect here on the right-hand side. Boss putting a world of hurt, 578. Suddenly Boss significantly in the lead. Can he stop this massive push coming in? Pigs on the tower. Skeleton Dragons behind. Three Musketeers will take the fireball damage, but again, Boss holding on to the lead. Minute 40 left, 764 to 578. Not going to worry about the Mun Muskie on the left-hand side. That one's dead. The right taken care of by the Barb Barrel. Heal Spirit behind, but that's an easy Barb Barrel response now from Boss. Setting up with the Barb Hut with 90 seconds left. Miniminter fighting from behind and does not want to use that fireball at all on those Pigs right now. 406 on the right-hand side for Boss. Big push coming in, opposite direction. Heal Spirit does heal the Pigs. That is huge for Miniminter. Fireball in, but Fireball a little bit late there. Doesn't create the room for the Royal Hogs that he may have wanted. And now Miniminter in a bit of trouble here. Gonna have Hunter, Dark Prince, Hunter, and Piggies coming in on the right-hand side. Fireball in. One Pig sneaks on by. That's a whole lot of damage on to 57 HP. No more direct damage available. Have to get back to a Fireball here. Can Boss cycle to Fireball in time? We get the Barb Barrel down. Fireball in 66 HP, and there you go. Boss holds on by just a little bit. Pig trying to go for a snack on the right-hand side, but Boss able to get down to Fireball just in time. GG, well played. Boss ties things up in game 2. There you have it. What a finish. What an absolute crazy finish. Yeah, the defensive Pigs must have been a misclick, says Olinga. Yeah, that's a weird one. I want to go back and see if that was a misclick or if that was just what he had in cycle to clog the lane, and that was it. GG, well played. KFC Clash, a Boss fan here. And Jay Burt saying Mini would have won it had it not been for that one pig. Yeah, one little piggy escaped and got a ton of damage on the right-hand side. And now Boss with match point. Zach saying both guys smart to run pigs because the bans were great for it. Yep. Gotta wonder if they're working with analysts or just on their own here. And Miniminter going to RG here in game 3. And now great dual lane pressure from Boss. Heal Spirit going to be perfect for the American. Fireball comes out, log not available. And that's going to be a nice chunk of damage for Boss to open up the first minute of game 3. Match point right now for the American and a solid lead to open things up. Very aggressive early Royal Giant from Miniminter. Comes back and bites him. Absolutely bites him. RG to the left-hand side. And this should be plenty to DPS that down without too much damage to the tower. Might get 0 shots, might get 1. Gonna end up getting 1 off just by a hair. 1954 on the left-hand side. Split pigs with Skelly Dragons behind. Pressure in both lanes again here from Miniminter, or from Boss. And Miniminter has not found a way to deal with the heal spirits yet. You've seen the heal spirit not getting caught up by any logs. And Boss may be a bit low on that one, putting the bar putt right and late, able to hold on though. That RG super aggressive, trapped everything right in the same spot with the fireball was Boss. And again, just RG bridge spamming right now is Miniminter. And Fireball goes to the back on that one. Skeleton Dragons high to deal with Miniminter Skeleton Dragons. Boss in a solid lead here, but way behind on Elixir. Protecting the Musketeer, good protection, but Skeletons come out top and completely make her irrelevant. A big spot here for Miniminter. Boss a little bit low on Elixir by comparison. And now a good heal spirit comes out from the Peruvian. Log to clear things up just a little bit. RG not going to get a shot. Final 90 seconds approaching, 30 away from triple elixir time. 9:15 to 13:02. It's turned into a complete left lane battle after the dual lane pressure early from Boss. Just pounding the left-hand side is Miniminter. When triple hits, we might start seeing him get a point where he stacks RG on the left-hand side. We'll see. And the heal spirit again coming through after the log. The high skeletons do help, but that might be it. That Musketeer's gonna connect. Fishboy comes down just in time. Saves the day here for the Peruvian. Final minute triple elixir. 6:25 to 10:58. And now here we go. This is gonna be Boss's or Miniminter's game plan to try to stack RG, force him to try to play defense against the first one, and then hit him with the second. Cheaply defends on the right-hand side. Fisherman does go down. Fireball, log in, Piggy to the right-hand side, and not able to play the stack game is Miniminter. Just not able to do it. 15 seconds left. Boss pretty much has this one. Will he hold on, or will Miniminter pull the rug out from under with a big-time steal? Fireball into the right-hand side. Piggies in both lanes. That's going to be it. GG, well played.
Boss with the big 3-0, and this Western Regional Group stage just got thrown into absolute chaos, folks. Absolute chaos. You'll see those standings in just a minute, but this is crazy. Boss not only takes the win here and moves to 2-3, dropping Miniminter to 2-3 as well, but that 3-0 going to have huge implications on the overall game plus minus differential. That might be enough to push Boss up into the top 4 for the moment. Boss putting on a show today. Well played. That 3-0 was absolutely massive. Game number 1 was RG for RG. And RG behind King Tower in single. Mini just trying to get to the right-hand side if he can. But wasn't going to happen. Pretty easy finish here for Boss. This first game was tighter than you might have thought. This defense here, we'll see. Look at the elixir for a moment, but Miniminter not able to get the NATO off in time. You see the late NATO out of Mini, plus the Fisherman from Boss. That's a GG well played. Game number 2, the one pig escapes, and that one pig gets 2 big snouts on the right-hand side. And we all saw what this came down to in the end. As that damage comes in, 66 HP, 2 pig shots mean all the difference. And then this last one, it was the early dual lane pressure that gave Boss a pretty solid advantage. Miniminter having trouble with the heal spirit the entire way through. No building to pull the pigs together. And that's a GG well played. And we'll see these standings here in just a minute, folks. But Boss just threw this division completely upside down. And you'll see why in a moment. But the logjam in the middle. There's going to be a number of players right now at 2-3. And one of them is going to be in the top 4. One of them's going to be in that spot. So we'll find out in a few minutes who that is for the moment. Of course, one more match remaining today, going to be StarWars versus airsurfer. StarWars also 1-3, so a win for StarWars could move him up into the 2-3 club. Who knows? Absolutely crazy. Let's go take a look at the standings, and you see there, Boss did have too much of a game differential to make up. So Boss still going to be in 6th place for the moment with that -4 game differential overall. Miniminter holding on to that 4th spot for a moment, but suddenly, it gets real tight there in the middle. Any of those players right now, technically any of them, I think Adrian Piedra's game differential might make him out of the running at this stage, unless he gets 2 sweeps and everyone else also gets super swept. And right now, one more player has a chance to go and get into that mix, the 2-3 mix. StarWars has a tough out ahead of him in airsurfer, who is currently at 3-1. Airsurfer could take control of 2nd place after Vitor's loss today with a win here against StarWars. But again, StarWars, who may have felt like he was out of this, dropping to 1-3, looking at these standings, might look at that and go, hey, a win today keeps me truly alive. Keeps me truly alive. So we'll find out. Can StarWars do it? Match number 4 on the day. Airsurfer top of your screen. StarWars at the bottom. Bans are Mega Knight and Heal Spirit. No 6 Loon today, and the bans have made that mostly impossible.
Saw Royal Recruits banned earlier, seeing Heal Spirit banned right now. And Heal Spirit's an interesting ban on Star Wars. It gets rid of some of the most popular decks. Here's the interesting thing about a Heal Spirit ban, right? It gets some of the most popular decks out of the meta, or out of this game, but also it doesn't really limit the deck pool. So it's more of a, I don't want to deal with Heal Spirit situation, because there are variants. It might limit the Royal Giant play the most out of anything. Hey, boss in the chat, GG, well played, sir. Great 3-0 today. And in case you're keeping track there, buddy, now in the mix. A bunch of players all at 2 and 3, so you just made this division crazy. Everyone give some love to boss in the chat right now. RG, or GY on the right-hand side now for Star Wars. So again, this Heal Spirit ban most likely gets rid of Royal Giant, although there are some variants that can be played without it, of course. Maybe limits Balloon Cycle. Probably limits Balloon Cycle. $15.65 on the right-hand side. Airsurfer with the advantage. Goes ahead and sets up Barb Hut behind his weak side tower and into the side he's pushing. Graveyard again for Star Wars. Second graveyard of the game, I believe. Cage sets the line high for the defense of Star Wars in this American versus American battle. But Airsurfer all over him. Airsurfer absolutely all over him. And now the pressure is on. Snowball will make some room. Musketeer doesn't connect. Good high Skelly Surround from Star Wars. And those Skeleton Dragons stay alive, so now Airsurfer has to contend with a fairly significant counter push and can't play the poison high because of the graveyard. Final minute 50. The Misfits rep in the lead significantly, 764 to 2032. Knight does not pick up the Musketeer. Went for the Knight inside, maybe thinking Muskie inside rather than outside. And instead loses the Skeleton Dragon, does Star Wars. Airsurfer playing very, very clean so far. Not really worried about the poison value. Deep in his territory right now. Muskie not going to step up for Star Wars. The poison from Airsurfer keeps that, but the poison mixed with the Mega Minion kept the Musketeer from getting anywhere near the opposite side of the bridge. And going to win this bridge battle is Star Wars, but can he get much out of it? Nothing getting across the tank. Snowball keeping that off, but Airsurfer starting to show some cracks in the armor here in the final 30 seconds. Has not been able to put on his own offensive pressure. Poison and now Graveyard afterwards, so Musketeer will disappear. Skeleton Dragons come down low to deal with the Graveyard defensively for Star Wars. Final 20 seconds, but that's going to be it. Unable to play defense there at the end. Airsurfer taking game number 1. So there you have the overall stats view from Stats Royale. If you don't know what your next chest is, guess what? Stats Royale will tell you. Go to statsroyale.com and you can find out. Is it a legendary chest? Maybe. Is it an epic chest? Most likely.
Go to statsroyale.com for all your chest opening information. Give me 1 second, folks. If you haven't yet, guys, and you're enjoying the action, don't forget to subscribe to the No Tilt YouTube page. Subscribe, like this video. Never miss any of the action. And, of course, as long as you're doing that, subscribe to my YouTube channel as well. Epic chest most likely. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You might think it's a silver chest most likely, but it's probably an epic chest. Your next chest, almost assuredly. Airsurfer, going Expo. Probably going 3.0 rather than 2.9. That's more popular these days, but you want to see one of the best to ever play Expo competitively? Here you go. It is really fun to see Airsurfer play Expo. Exciting stuff. You trying to learn about this deck? There's not a lot of better people to watch than this guy. There are some great Expo players. Some Fred players, for those of you keeping along at home. AC saying, I miss the Airsurfer Expo one-trick days. Yeah, on the one hand, those were fun to watch. On the other hand, expanding beyond the one trick has made him a great competitive player. Giant Night Witch going to be an interesting matchup here for Airsurfer. We'll see how he plans to get past the combination of the Goblin Cage and the Giant together. Miner picked up perfectly. Airsurfer read that about a million years ahead. And there you go. Expo lock left-hand side. E-Wiz will reset. So here's the interesting thing about this matchup is that, as you can see, Airsurfer can get lock. We just saw him do it. But as it goes deeper, the question is, with the tankage ability to pick up the Expos and the E-Wiz to reset, how much Expo damage will he get each time? Right now, with the lead, though, we're going to see how Star Wars plans on breaking past this. Going to be difficult. Going to be very, very difficult. Miner in, Bats behind. Not going to see a ton of Miner these days, but here you go. This one, before the Miner nerf, was one of the more popular, or one of the mid-tier, mid-popular decks, maybe, being played competitively. Miner this time going to the front of the tower. Airsurfer gets the skeleton pickup incorrect. Expo opposite lane now from the Master. Skeleton split, good pickup there by Star Wars. And Giants right on into it. This Expo not going to do a whole lot on the right-hand side. Airsurfer, though, with a significant elixir advantage, healthy Tesla down. This is where Star Wars starts to fall behind. And that's going to lock everything way the heck down. Skelly's easily picked that one up. Very predictable here. And Expo, again, to the opposite lane. And now you see the Fireball cycle come in for Airsurfer, and an Expo lock as well. E-Wiz going to be late there to reset. Star Wars is doing what he needs to do, maybe being a half step predictable, unfortunately, because he's doing the things he has to do to try to win this one. Miner goes to the front, opposite side, picked up there by Airsurfer, easy read. From the Misfits player, good damage to come in on the right-hand side, but Fireball cycle continue on the left-hand lane here. Final 40 seconds. Now Giant high. Night Witch right behind. And that Miner, where's it going? Goes to the back, easily picked up again.
varying position, but almost varying position, like going A, B, A, B, A, B. So airsurfer reading it very well. Miner in one more time. Trying to tank for some bats, not going to happen. This time, Ice Spirit goes to the back. Poison in, trying to get some damage on the left-hand lane. Not going to be enough. Fireball cycle in for airsurfer. That's going to be a GG, well played. One of the best to play Expo. Just showed why. Airsurfer wins game number 2 and now has match point. AC with the Papa George, get another solid matchup that Air can easily outplay. That's a reference to Trainer Dip, one of the top analysts in the game, who you know is there with, often works with Airsurfer. And he put those two guys together. That's a tough out there. The gameplay skills of Airsurfer and the game knowledge of Trainer Dip, of Dippets. Ooh boy, that's a lot. And right now it's Airsurfer with a pretty big advantage. So here we go, game number 3, Airsurfer with match point. And Airsurfer might be doing it again. He might just do it again. Yeah, he is. He's doing it again. Has 3 chances to win, says, why not do it again, guys? Maybe Airsurfer getting tired of hearing about other Expo players and says, guys, come on. I know there are other guys who play Expo, but I'm Airsurfer. Easy pick up on the skeletons for the Inferno Dragon. Lava's a nice call here for Star Wars, but I don't know. Expo into the Lava Hound, the right call. And that's going to be tower down, and I think we can probably call this one. GG. Airsurfer is exceptionally good at Clash Royale. I don't know if you guys know this, but the kid can play. Fireball in on the archers. Good kite here from Airsurfer for the Inferno Dragon. That one's going to go for a long walk to nowhere. Man, maybe color me wrong here. Am I cursing? Tower on the right-hand side down to 237. Airsurfer doesn't want to be in a 2-tower game here. Gonna go ahead and Expo under this Lava Hound. And if anyone here is disappointed to see Expo out of Airsurfer, get out of here with that. This is one of those guys you want to watch play Expo. Oh boy, I might have thrown a curse out there. Although it is same lane, which is better for Airsurfer than cross lane. Star Wars with a good call here in game 3. Will the Fireball go for the barbs here? Kind of feel like they have to. Maybe this might just log it back. Airsurfer doesn't have the elixir for it. Getting really, really low. Nice control here. And Expo does get a lock for Airsurfer. Final 2 minutes, double elixir time. And that knight just barely saves the Princess Tower. People saying classic Hex. All right, go ahead and wait. Let's see. Fireball out of cycle, so smart barbs here from Star Wars, but that fire will be back soon. And of course, the defense setup by Airsurfer more than sufficient. Talking about a classic Hex here. I have faith in one of the greatest to ever play Expo. GG, well played, 3-0. Got a feel for Star Wars right now. Big fan of the guy, been a good player for a long time. Stepping up into the ring with the greats, though, and it's just a different level here right now. Just a different level, and airsurfer. Good luck beating him consistently. Airsurfer is phenomenal. And that's probably going to be Star Wars out, dropping to 1-4. GG, well played. Airsurfer now takes firm control of second place, moving to 4-1 in the group stage. More likely than not, with what's happening in the middle of the pack, Airsurfer has clinched. Hasn't guaranteed himself a spot in the next stage, but more likely than not has clinched. And it was just tough going top to bottom for Star Wars the entire way through. Airsurfer had the defense locked down in game number 1. There was a moment where Star Wars started to put pressure on. Maybe it swung his direction for a minute. But then, of course, 3.0 Expo in the hands of one of the best 2.9 players to ever do it. Game number 2 went pretty solidly towards the Misfits Pro. And you saw Airsurfer both times did the right thing. As soon as the Lava Hound came out, Expo Tesla, same lane, locked it down, and in the end, faster pressure, forced defense out of Star Wars. GG, well played. And Airsurfer takes the 3-0 sweep. A big 3-0 sweep. A very important 3-0 sweep. And you'll see why in the standings here in just a moment. Ooh, boy. Only 2 match days left, but they're going to be 2 very important match days. And we'll talk about the upcoming schedule in a minute. Here we go, looking at the standings as they are through 5 of 7 played. Schwarzen, firm control, 5-0, looking like a world beater right now. Airsurfer at 4-1 has most likely clinched and punched his ticket to the next level. It would take huge performances below him and a big collapse to be out of those top 4. But look at what's happening now in spots 3 through 6. Wolfstochter, Boss, and Miniminter all at 2 and 3. Vitor at 3 and 2. So a lot of open doors here right now when you look at the middle. And if we're talking about the upcoming matchups, well, Vitor has to face off against Miniminter. So there's a matchup right there in the middle that might decide a 3 versus 4 spot. That'll be coming up tomorrow. And then Boss and Wolfstochter also playing. So tomorrow you're going to see all 4 of the players in that middle logjam going head-to-head with one another. A lot will be decided. Tomorrow, same place, same channel. Tune in 12 p.m. Pacific, 3 p.m. Eastern, that's 9 p.m. Central European. Summertime, make sure you're here, because you will see the 3rd through 6th players battling it out for the middle. And then after that goes down, who knows what comes up next. If Miniminter beats Vitor, then suddenly we'll have a very interesting race for that number 4 spot. But Wolfstochter and Boss, that one's tomorrow, and that is essentially a loser leaves town matchup. Winner will have a real shot at moving into the top 4. Loser not only will drop to 2 and 4, but also will go get one more at least negative point on their game differential. Looks like Adrian Piedra is probably eliminated here with that huge -9 differential. Yeah, for those of you asking. Star Wars 2, it's not looking like a 2 and 4, a 3 and 4 player is going to make it. Most likely not. Is it technically possible? Mathematically, it might be. Who knows? Guys, it's been fun. I'm Rich Slayton. Thanks for watching on behalf of everyone at No Tilt Clash Royale. And for all of you guys, we'll see you back here tomorrow with match day 6 of the No Tilt World Championship Stage 3 in the West.